All right, let's talk about timed studios or rotations. And we always encourage that you start with timed ones, and it might literally be half your class does this, and the other half of the class works with you in a smaller group setting. And that timing is so that your students are practicing the norms that have been put in place, utilizing the unstuck strategies that have been in place, and just fostering that independence. So, in this training portion of it, this is where, as you're training students to utilize those independent activities, as you get better and they get better, you can either add another station or you could differentiate the stations that are being done or the studios that are being completed. But the timing part of it is just adding one more layer to that training ground, adding one more layer to that training ground so that independence is totally fostered and ready, so that as you add more flexibility within studios or you add collaboration in the studios, you add the student choice in studios, that they've already solidified. I know how to work independently. I know what to do when I get unstuck, and I'm successful in my choices. I also know what happens when I'm not successful in my choices. So you've put the time into train, and you've slowly either switched up, added a few different things in your studios or rotations, but now you're going to add some data driven to your rotations. This is where I would recommend, or what is recommended, that your small group, flexible small group, even if it's once or twice a week, now becomes data driven. So your data driven instruction for the small group occurs after you have got the kids done, got the training done, things are working well, they're moving through, they're completing things, they're staying engaged. Now I'm going to add my flexible small group work time with the teachers that is not about, oh, I need to teach everybody this, but I might need to teach everybody this, but I might need to use this text or this math problem. I may need to spend a little more time with this group and a little less time with that. So in this first component of time studios and rotations, think about using the timing very strictly for training ground, expectations, reinforcement. Then think about how I'm going to vary the types of activities. So as I'm doing the training, have I given them a chance to collaborate or play a game together in that time frame? Then introduce the data. What data can I use? And use that data-driven part to allow for you to pull small group based on that learning need, based on your data. Keep it flexible. And again, we totally understand that this may be 1 or 2 times a week, but that is what we want you to think about when it comes time studios and rotations. And the last thing we're going to recommend is checklists. And we want you to use some form of a checklist to allow organization for the student end. And that checklist, there's several examples in your Schoology course for you to take a look at. But basically, the checklist allows the students to know what are the rotations that they will be using, or state studios that they'll be using. And then also, there's an opportunity for just some accountability. They may have to check something off. They may have to put problem number 3 on it. Some of the ones that you'll look at, you'll see that they have reflections on, how did I do this week on my Lexia goal? How did I do this week on my path? When I collaborated with a partner, how did that go? Adding those layers continues to foster what we want to see in students. It's low workload on your part, but still keeps the students accountable. So check out those checklists that are in this Schoology folder.